What's up, y'all? Here for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 5, Episode 13. I know I'm behind, but I'm finna catch up because I missed, well, what was it, July 4th? Well, July 4th, I was out celebrating, plus my fiance is off on Monday, so I already know my reviews for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta I won't be able to do on Monday nights since he's off because he likes to watch wrestling. So my reviews will probably be up like Tuesday, no later than Wednesday if I get it together. Only reason why it's weeks late is because I started work and I've been behind just trying to catch up. I have a hard time transitioning. Like I always say, y'all know this, but y'all still rock with me and I appreciate it. I've been still checking the views and, I've been seeing a few of my videos got 100K. I noticed that one got 10K. I love y'all. So anyway, let's get into this episode so I can get into the next episode and I catch myself up or whatever because there's premieres coming on tonight and I do want to upload those videos as well. So, this episode basically starts with everybody in LA for the Grammys. I don't know why, because none of them got a Grammy, like Rasheeda said, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. So, everybody is in LA for Grammy Weekend, and Mimi says she's there for gift and sweets. Carly is there because she has to make decisions as far as life goes. Stevie and Jocelyn are there because they got some loose ends to tie up or whatever and figuring out their relationship, whatever. So now we get back to Mama D in Georgia and this chick is on crutches. And you know what? This had to be, well, Grammy, the timing is right because Grammy Weekend is in February. And I remember seeing Mama D at the Big Ange tribute that VH1 had, the Larger Than Life tribute. And Mama D was still on crutches. And we were like, oh, you okay? She was like, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it pimping, Mama D is funny. And she's beautiful in person. Don't let the TV fool you. She's beautiful in person. She's just so hood. So, she's on crutches because she has a sciatic nerve. And she's just annoyed with the whole thing with Ernest. And she's meeting with Jock because she wants Jock to be a part of her EP that she's coming out with. And she's like, do re mi so fa la di. And I'm like, this lady crazy. So she's like, she wants to create some song with Jock that'll be like the 2016 Electric Slide. And telling Jock about how she's sick of Ernest and his BS. And if she, she put a tracking device on his phone. And if she find out he cheating, she gonna cut his balls. And I'm like, oh gosh, she crazy. She crazy. So now we get back to LA for Grammy Weekend, and they're at Def Comedy Jam. Tony Rock is the host, and Stevie and Dom arrive, of course, to ruffle some feathers, and Stevie and Mimi talk, and Mimi is like, oh, this is funny how, Stevie is with Dom now, but when I wanted to bring Dom to the table for management, Stevie said no. And, she's like, I feel like the only reason why he's hanging out with Dom now is because him and Jocelyn are on ours. And I'm like, ding, 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 Mimi, you're right, because Stevie is petty, okay? So, Carly is there, and Dime tells Carly about Life possibly being married. So as this is going on, Mimi and Stevie go off to the side and they have their own conversation. And, Mimi is upset that the fact that he's working with Dom now because when she tried to pitch Dom to him as an artist, he shut it down. But he was like, no, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing this to show Jocelyn who's the real boss. I never meant to hurt you or whatever. So Mimi is still, how many years later? 4 or 5 years later, and she's still hurt by the antics that Stevie and Jocelyn have done to her. Him going behind her back, cheating on her with Jocelyn. So she's upset about it. And, he's like, I never meant to hurt Mimi. I did this to get on Jocelyn's bad side, but I didn't, this game that we keep playing is hurting people that I don't intentionally mean to hurt. And I'm like, well, y'all all need to stop being petty and be adults and handle this instead of being petty with it. Like, y'all all being petty. You, Jocelyn, all y'all being petty. So now we get to Kirk and Rasheeda. And Rasheeda was like, well, everybody is in LA for Grammy Weekend. Don't got a Grammy, but they in LA. I don't know. And I'm like, I mean, Rasheeda, you could have went to the Grammys too, you know. If you had a reason to go to the Grammys, if you were on the charts too. I'm just saying. I mean, she threw shade. I'm throwing shade at Rasheeda. You know, because Rasheeda be throwing shade at people when she know that some of that shade she need to be throwing to herself too. Because I don't think anybody knows her outside of Atlanta. I mean, you know, we know her now from this show. And I've heard Rasheeda on a couple of songs. But I think she's like a superstar in Atlanta. And that's about it. Which is good, because sometimes when you're a hometown star, you know, you get buzz like that. But still, I mean, you pointing a finger, Rasheeda, you got 3 more pointing back at you. I'm just saying. And I'm throwing shade, and I ain't even have my daggone lemonade. I bought some lemonade, though, yesterday. I wasn't playing. So maybe in the next video you'll see it. I don't feel like pouring a cup right now, but just know that was shade. So, they're at the house that her and Kirk are building, and she's saying that her and Kirk are going to downsize and they're going to start housing their artists. So they are getting rid of the Buckhead apartment, going to move out of the main house that they're in now, and going to move into the house that they're building, and they're going to put their artists in the house that they're in now to, you know, work on their brand and basically just help them grow as artists. So Kelsey, of course, Kirk's daughter, is offended because she wants to be signed to D-Lo, and she feels like they won't give her a shot. And Rasheeda and Kirk are like, it's not that we don't want to give you a shot. You're not ready yet. You're not there. So Kelsey feels like they put people before her, and she, you know, got upset and walked out the room. But it's like, I understand where Kirk and Rasheeda are coming from. She's not ready yet, but I say y'all need to start her from the bottom. Y'all need to make her an intern. Make her do something that shows that she'll be able to show how ready she is, and she'll show them, you know, what exactly it is she wants to do, that what she's willing to do to be an artist at D-Lo. That's all, instead of just tossing her to the side, because Kelsey wasn't a bad performer. It's just that she does need growth and grooming as an artist. So I say they should put her like on a probationary period, make her intern, make her do something to show that she's willing to be an artist at D-Lo. That's just my opinion. So, oh God, D. Smith and Betty Idol, the 2 dingbats I can't stand. They meet with CeeLo Green. And Betty Idol right off the bat lets him know, hey, you know, I'm transitioning from male to female. I've been going through it for a year. You know, this is what it is. And CeeLo was like, well, I have no problem with that. I embrace everyone. Everybody's unique. Everybody should live in their truth. I'm all for it. You know, do what you do. So she plays a track for him. The song sounded stupid to me. And from what it sounded like, D. Smith is using her male voice, something about fancy girl living in a fancy world, something like that. I didn't like it. I'll be honest and say that other song she was playing in the studio, Breakout, I like that song better than the one she played for CeeLo Green. Somehow, I don't know what CeeLo heard, but what I heard I ain't like. CeeLo liked it. Okay, whatever. He's impressed, and he's looking forward to working with her in the future. Whatever. I don't understand it, but whatever. Okay. So Stevie is still in LA. He's meeting up with Faith, working on music for the Bad Boy reunion tour. Because remember, Stevie had a hand in Bad Boy Records back in the day. So they get, sorry, I've been having allergies all week. So it's like they're subsiding and my nostrils are like funny right now. So they're discussing Jocelyn and the drama with her. And Stevie says he feels a way because, you know, the whole picture with Rick Ross and him telling everybody in Atlanta and on the radio period that they're not married. So he told Faith that they're not married. And Faith was like, well, are you telling me the truth? Or are you just saying you're not married because it's tit for tat? He's like, nah, I'm not going I'm not going to continue lying about it. We're not married. You know, we're not seeing eye to eye. It is what it is. And now the truth is out. So she's like, okay, well, I'm just hoping y'all not doing y'all tit for tat stuff like y'all usually do. So now we get to Charlene and Ernest. Ernest is meeting up with Charlene just to talk about Mama D's issues. And you know, nothing. It's an innocent little, it's not even a date. It's an innocent little talk. But you see Mama D outside in her sunglasses lurking like, oh no, I done caught him in some mess. And Mama D walks in as they're talking, and Miss Charlene is basically a soundboard for Ernest, because Ernest, sometimes when you get in these situations with people, like when you marry people or whatever, sometimes you can't communicate with them. So you find somebody you can talk to, and Miss Charlene is taking psychology, so you know she's willing to listen, because that's what psychologists do. They listen and they analyze. So that's what she's there for. So Miss Charlene is just an outsider looking in, you know, but Mama D comes in and he's like, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, I've been tracking you on your phone. And he's like, you need to give me a break. You know, I love you, but I can't deal with you and your anger and all this other stuff. And she's like, well, step up and I won't be angry. And I'm like, Mama D, you need to back off a little bit and let him be the man in a relationship. Like, I can tell she tries to cut Ernest down at the knees. Like, if this man is trying to work hard and provide for you and y'all's family, you need to give him that and stop nagging him so much or whatever. Like, he loves you. He's trying to do what he can to make things better for you, and you just making it harder for him. And I think that's what Miss Charlene, that's what she sees as going on. And you know, Mama D just needs to chill. Like, she's been single for so long. She doesn't know, you know, how to just let some of that control go. So now we get to Stevie and Jocelyn. They're throwing shade at each other, talking about they happily separated. They started discussing the pictures, and Jocelyn doesn't feel like she did anything wrong. And Stevie admits that he misses her, but he wants respect from her, and he feels like she doesn't respect him. So, I mean, I get where Stevie is coming from. Jocelyn, I don't know. Like, with the whole contract thing, I can understand why Jocelyn is doing what she's doing. But as far as, you know, lying to say he has babies out there and whatnot, like playing that game, that's not a game to play. Because when you involve kids, that's when it becomes a major, major, major problem. So anyway, to like basically throw all of that out, like throw a wrench in the plan, she invites Tommy for like this weird threesome. And Stevie, you know, normally Stevie would be like, oh, okay, Stevie was weirded out, and so was I was weirded out too. Tommy looked good, don't get me wrong, but this whole scene was confusing and weird as hell. So Jocelyn says she brought Tommy along because Tommy said all the things that she would want Stevie to do to her. She said it to Scrap, and Tommy admitted that she only said it to make Scrap angry. She didn't really want it to, you know, happen. So Jocelyn is like, she's basically using Tommy to make a fool of her, make her look like a thot, make her look like all of this, because you supposed to be down for your man and you not. You playing the game. And I'm like, Jocelyn, this ain't really gonna make her look foolish, because y'all ain't doing anything but skinny dipping in a pool. So what? So Stevie was like super duper weirded out. They ran in the bathroom or something like that, and he called them two loonies. Now, from what I heard from Tommy's interview, she said they ain't do nothing in the bathroom. All Jocelyn said was, oh, that was a good scene, and that was the end of that. And I'm like, well, duh. We know this ish is scripted. So now we get to Rasheeda, Charlene, and Kirk, and they're at Pressed, and they notice that Kelsey has an attitude. So, you know, Rasheeda is like, well, she has an attitude because of all the things we plan on doing with D-Lo, and she's not a part of it or whatever. So then, Miss Charlene explains what's going on with Mama D to Rasheeda, and Rasheeda is like, yo, Mama D is crazy, but you know what? Hey, they just, you know, it's good that Ernest is coming to you for advice or whatever, but Mama D needs to calm down some. So, now Rasheeda confronts Kelsey about her attitude, and Kelsey admits that she's upset and feels like she's not needed. She feels like, cause I think Kirk walked in with the artist, and the same artist that Kelsey feels like they're handing everything Kelsey wants to her. Her name is Sam. And Kelsey is like, I feel like y'all are just, you know, giving her everything that I want. You know how bad I want to be signed to D-Lo. You know how much work I would have put into it. And it's like, you keep giving it to her. You're going to move her into the house where I've stayed at and grown up at when I was a kid. Like, enough is enough. So she stomps out and she leaves. Here go Rasheeda. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. I'm like, you are so wrong. Any way you spin it, Rasheeda, that's your stepdaughter. That is so mean. So now we get to Carly in life. And she confronts him about the marriage rumor. And he confronts her about Scrap. And he says something about a twump and that Scrap is about to do a twump and I just thought it was funny he said twump. Like, for some reason that just sounded funny to me. I don't know. I'm mad immature. But he was like, he about to do a twump in prison. And you keeping this guy company? And she's like, no, I was doing business with him. And he found me drunk and he drove me home, or he drove me to a hotel. And I'm like, Carly, if you expect for us to believe that he just drove you to the hotel, no ma'am. Not how y'all was talking when y'all was in the car from the hotel. So life is like, I don't want to play no games no more. I don't want to, he pull out a ring and he shows her the ring. This chick falls on the daggone concrete and basically faints. I'm like, yo, this is a hot mess. But we already know how it's going to play in the next episode, so I'll get right into it. Thank you for watching. Look out for the next video. Later.